I have sold literally over hundreds of AI receptionists to local businesses. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I do this. As you know, with the boom of AI, these receptionists have gotten extremely big. And there's a reason for it because local businesses can really use these tools to help grow their business. Let me give you an example. Let's say there's a local business near your area that is really busy and they do have a receptionist, but the receptionist doesn't work 24/7. The receptionist works from 9 to 5, and sometimes this business gets calls after hours or on the weekends, right? And let's say over a week, this business misses 5 calls, either on the weekend or after hours, because the receptionist is not there. The owner might not answer the calls for whatever reason, right? And this is very realistic because these businesses are not open, like the reception is not on the phone 24/7, you know, and people sometimes call them after hours or on the weekends because people are also busy. They work from 9 to 5, right? Um, let's say there's a business that is missing, let's say 10 calls a week, either on the weekend, Saturday or Sunday, or after hours. Let's say people call like around 8 p.m., 9 p.m. when the receptionist is sleeping, right? So that's 40 calls a month. From those 40 calls, let's say this business usually books, let's say 5 of them, 10 of them, right? Very conservative. All right. And let's say from those people that he books, he makes a total of $5,000. If he sells to 10 customers that we're calling, and he's selling his service for $500 per customer, that's $5,000, right? Or let's say if we're very, very conservative, he only sells for 5 customers, he makes $2,500 extra, right? So if you could communicate this point to that business owner and you provide your service to them and show them how your service can bring in another $5,000 to this business. Let's say how your service can bring in another $2,000 to this business, right? They will be really happy to buy your service. It's literally the easiest thing to sell when you actually show them the numbers. Uh, and once you show them the numbers, you can um, do a demo of your product to them and then pitch your services price. I charge my clients $500 a month. If I'm bringing in $5,000 to their business using my service, they will be really, really happy to pay me $500 because I'm bringing in so much more money to their business. So paying me $500 for my service is nothing. Okay, so you want to be in a position where you're confident enough in your service, you're confident enough in the product that you've built that uh, you can actually communicate that to them and like show the confidence show the confidence you have in your product and how your product can actually help them. And this is not just a um, salesy thing you're trying to do, right? Show them the numbers, show them how it can bring in more money, sign them up, give them a free trial. You'll Next thing you know, you'll be booking 10 clients a week. So now that we got that out of the way, I'm gonna show you exactly how I built my AI receptionist so that you can do the same thing. Um, by the way, if you want the exact blueprint that I've used here for my make.com for Vapi, you can click in the link below this video, put in your email, and then you will automatically get all these files forwarded to your email. So yeah, you can do that if you don't want to copy everything one by one. Um, but yeah, so let's start with this diagram I have here, just so that you get a clear idea of what is going on and what we're trying to do. So, so we're going to use Vapi.com to basically build our AI assistant. It's kind of like the front end of our AI bot. And then we're going to use Vapi and connect it to make.com to kind of do the logic stuff in the back end. Um, we're gonna we're gonna go over this, and I'm gonna show you exactly what kind of logics we've created, what kind of functions we have, what kind of variables we have, all that. And then from there, we are going to use cal.com to kind of be our database for these appointments that we book into our calendar, right? Or into the business's calendar. So um, cal.com and make.com are going to be working together. Um, and then from there, we have Gmail. So let's say we create a booking and we want to make sure that the customer receives an email, right? Regarding their booking. And also, we could make it so that the owner also receives an email once someone makes a booking. Um, so we'll have Gmail be integrated in our make.com. And there are businesses who prefer the customer to pay online, so that it's easier once they go on site. Um, if the business wants that option, you can also integrate that to your make.com. So um, that's where we can use Stripe to kind of integrate that in the backend with make.com. And now let's start with Vapi. This is where we're going to start. All right, so this is Vapi. Once you sign up, you get, I think, $10 of free credits. So here I have an AI receptionist for a dental clinic. The first thing that I start with is make sure you have these settings. I like these settings. It's been working for me. I haven't had any issues with any of the businesses I've been working with. They haven't complained. Sometimes, if you use different models, it kind of um, gives really long answers. It hallucinates. So for me, this version has been working pretty well. So I'm gonna be going with this model of ChatGPT or OpenAI. And then, so for your assistant, you can let me show you how to create one. So you can create your assistant here, and then once you click here, you'll get to a page like this where you need to fill out all this information. So for the first message, you can, once the user picks up the phone, you can have a message where you can say, thanks for calling this business, and then say your the assistant's name, and then you can say, how can I help you? You can change this to however you want it for your business. And then for the system prompt, this is a prompt I have built using ChatGPT. So you can go to ChatGPT, ask it to create you a system prompt for Vapi.ai, and then describe the business that you're working with. Okay, so for this example, I gave ChatGPT all the information I had for this dentist clinic and the flow of how things go when someone calls this clinic. So I gave it the open hours of the clinic, the times they're open, the exact their time zone, and also so all this information that I gave ChatGPT, it was not broken down nicely like this, right? I just like typed in everything and then it broke it down for me like this so that Vapi.ai can understand it. So for example, this clinic has different types of so for example, let's say this clinic provides different types of treatments. So I gave ChatGPT all these treatments and it broke it down like this for me. And then also I told it to have a friendly tone, so it broke down all that info for Vapi.com .ai. And then it made me this nice little booking conversation flow, which is how it usually goes in the dentist clinic. So I left it as is. And then for rescheduling, it built me this little nice flow, which I like. And then for canceling the appointments, it built me this flow, which works for me. And then as you can see, I have these variables here. These variables are how we're going to collect the user data, such as their name, um, their preferred time and date when they're trying to make their appointment. So these are all the variables. And then we also have some functions here. So we have this function which is going to um, call and make a request respond to make.com, and I'm going to show you how I did that. But first, let me show you the function. So we have check availability. Um, let's see, check availability. We have reschedule appointment, and then we have cancel appointment. All right. So now that we know the system prompts, I'm going to show you how to build the functions. So you can go to tools. You can go to tools, and then from tools you can create uh, the functions. So for example, I've created this one. All right, so let's say when this function is being called on, this is what it basically does. This tool will check the calendar for the user's requested booking time, right? And then from there, we will collect this variable, which is the preferred time. And that's pretty much it here. From here, using the API keys, we are going to build a webhook in make.com. So, so in make.com, I've already connected the Vapi API keys. So once the AI assistant makes a request, uh, make.com can go through that. So for example, if we're making a check availability request, the request is going to come here. It's going to go through this tool, which is going to basically map out the variables. So these are all the variables I have here. It's going to map out the variables. From there, I have this router based on the function that's being passed here. So for example, if the function is check availability, uh, it's going to route it here, right? So if it's check availability, it's going to route it here. And then this is going to, let me show you how this actually works. So if function.name is check availability, it's going to route it here. And then we're going to get a booking for the requested time. For this example, I chose to do 15-minute slots. So with this HTTP request, we're going to get the info from cal.com. And then here we can check with cal.com. It makes a HTTP request to cal.com. For this example, it's pulling 15-minute slots. And then if we do have that slot available, all right. So there's going to be two options, right? We have a slot available or we don't have a slot available. In the case that we have the slot available, we're going to send back a request to Vapi. So it's going to be sent as a webhook. We're going to send back a request to Vapi saying that the requested slot is available. All right, so if the slot is not available, we're going to send this to ChatGPT. ChatGPT is going to decide two different slots, um, which is going to be close to the hour they've requested. So for example, if they requested 3 p.m., ChatGPT is going to come up with two alternative slots, which is going to be 2 p.m. or 4 p.m. We check back with calendar to make sure those slots are actually available. All right, so once ChatGPT gives us those two ranges, we can check all the times that are available in those specific time slots, and then we decide the best two options to give the user. So from there, it sends back the request that at the time you requested is not available, but we have these other two slots that you can use. Let's say, for this example, let's say the slot was available. From here, once make.com sends the request back to Vapi, Vapi is going to um, prompt send another request back to make.com to book an appointment, right?
If the user wants to book the appointment, it's going to send a request to book an appointment. From here, as you can see, the function is to book an appointment. We check with cal.com and register that appointment for that specific time. And then we have reschedule appointment. Again, we check the database and calendar. We find the actual slot that that user had booked their appointment, and we change the appointment to the new date, and then we send them an email, and then we let Vapi know that we actually rescheduled the appointment. Same thing for cancellation. We check the database for cal.com. We cancel the appointment, send them an email, and let Vapi know that the email was sent and their appointment has been canceled. And then if you want to go a little bit more deep into this, we can set up Stripe payment systems where once the appointment is set up, the user can also pay via Stripe before they go to their appointment. So this is basically what the backend looks like. Um, and then for cal.com, once, let's say, user books an appointment, their appointment will show up here. And this is where the clinic can see the appointments that they have upcoming, or the appointments that were canceled, or the reoccurring appointments, and everything else can be managed here by the clinic. So I'm going to give you one last explanation of how these tools are connected. Now that we've gone deep into now that we covered basically everything. So Vapi is where we create our AI receptionist. From there, we're going to have different functions such as checking availability, booking appointments, canceling appointments, rescheduling appointments, right? Vapi sends those functions to make.com. Using make.com, we decide what we want to do. So, for example, if it's check availability, we make a request to cal.com. We check the database, make sure that we actually have that slot available. We send back the request to make.com. Make.com sends back the request to Vapi that that slot is available. If that slot is available, make.com sends the request to book the appointment, or Vapi makes the request to make.com to book the appointment. Make.com sends a request to cal.com to insert that exact slot into the calendar, and then make.com makes another request to Gmail to send the user the confirmation email. And if the user wants to do the payment through the AI receptionist, make.com, Vapi is going to send a request to make.com. Make.com is going to contact Stripe. Stripe is going to give us the link for the payment, and so Stripe is going to give us the link to the payment. Using make.com, we send the payment to the user via Gmail. So that's how the workflow basically works here. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments below. If you want the exact files for my Vapi and the exact files that I used in make.com, there's a form in the descriptions below. It's a Google Forms. You put in your email, and it automatically sends you all this info. And if there are specific questions you have regarding this, put them down in the comments below. And if you want to work with me to get help on building this on your own, I can walk you through all the steps, because obviously there's going to be a lot of small bugs when you're trying to build your receptions. There are continuous updates with these tools, and things change, things break. That's why if you want to build your own and actually learn this, it's a really good way, instead of just buying this one time and then if things break, you have no idea how to fix them, right? If you want all these files, go to the link in the description, put in your email, and automatically, and all these files will be sent to you automatically. Or if you face any issues and you need help, you can email me directly, and we can get in touch, and I can help you with any bugs that you're facing. And if you're providing these services to businesses, or you're building this for your own business, you want to have a pretty good idea of how everything connects and works. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next one.